How's that?
Good.
Looking good.
Good.
Looking hot. Good.
All right.
Alrighty. Off you go.
All right, guys. Welcome back to... Well, not welcome back. This is our first episode. Fucking never done this before. We're looking at three nervous blokes on a podcast who have never experienced this in their life. This is episode 1 of The Hunt. I'm joined with young Benny Roberts and Michael Plant. I don't know which one's which. You guys can say who's who.
Oh, I haven't worked that out yet either.
That's it. You go first.
And my hands are sweaty as.
That's all right. We'll start with Ben then. So Benny Roberts over here. He's one of our interns at Hunt Performance Centre. He's currently in week 2.
Yep.
Week 2 of 16. Benny is currently working with 20 clients. I guess, maybe just tell them your story a little bit, mate. Not too long, though. Just
not too long.
Keep it short.
Yeah, chop, mate.
So started getting coached by Aiden amidst COVID. So we were doing sessions in the netball park, which was pretty funny. Then when the gym opened back up, just got right into training. It was good. Did a few competitions, currently prepping for Open Nationals as well. In the last couple of months, just had a bit of a shift with my priorities in my career and decided to give powerlifting coaching a go full time. So Aiden gave me the opportunity. Yeah, it's gone real good.
Good.
Having a lot of fun, so talking a lot of shit. So
That's why we started this.
that's it.
And similar to Michael, you've obviously had not a career shift yet, but shifting a career. What's your plan?
Yeah. So I'm currently studying mechatronic and mechanical engineering at university.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, who knows? Haven't worked that out. So joined here probably 12 months ago now. Mm-hmm. I started the UON Strength Society at the university June last year. Yep. And you obviously reached out to us and said...
UON's Newcastle Uni.
Yeah. You obviously reached out to us and said you want to fucking get involved.
Yep.
So I came down here and checked it out and joined up and haven't looked back. So
funny story, actually. Michael, when he first signed up, didn't want a bar of coaching.
Not
didn't
interested.
want a bar of me. Just like, mate, I'm right doing my, small op junior, whatever the bloody hell he was doing.
Pretty good.
Sinking benches and butt rising up and everything. And little did he know, 12 months later, he would be actually working as a coach.
Literally.
Underneath me. But so I think it's quite interesting that you got two blokes sitting next to me that never really thought they'd be in the position that they are now, embarking on a carear where they actually are passionate about. So I think that's pretty cool, fellas.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, less about us, more about the people.
That's it.
You guys obviously should know who I am if you're here listening to this podcast.
You should
know who I
am. They don't know who the hell you blokes are, right? But the thing is like, I think, I obviously own Hunt Performance Centre and direct it, and I'm a coach, I'm an athlete, I'm a father of John, the lad. That's big responsibilities. But like I said, this podcast primarily is just for us to, I guess, just have a chat. And I think this is the kind of direction that I want to try and push the business in the next couple of years. It's just more on social media and marketing and being able to just, I guess, get our name out there a little bit more. Because we're doing a fantastic job here locally in the Hunter as a club and as a facility. But I think we definitely have some room to move in regards to being out there in the wide world of strength sports. So in this series of The Hunt, we're actually going to be going over not predictions, but I would say just kind of like a preview and a highlight of the upcoming 2022 Open Nationals with the Australian Powerlifting Union.
Oh, who's this?
Here we go. Hello, young man.
Right on time.
Right on time. It's like as if we almost planned it. Who we got here?
Who's this?
Oh, it's a good-looking man.
What do you have? That's yours, big man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Bloody hell. This is good service. It's like as if we have a cafe.
Thank you very much,
Would you
mate.
believe it?
Would you believe it?
I surely do.
Come have a seat, mate, next to me over here, Mr. Michael. All
Mate, world class this.
Great.
That's the
Right.
best coffee
Wow.
I've had in my life.
We've got a couple of cameras over here, over there, over here.
Keep these going after that.
That's it. All right, well, we need a big couch. We need a bigger couch. It's like we can sit next to you. All right. How are you, mate?
Good, well.
Good. That's awesome. All right, well, this is young Mr. Connor Rutledge. How long did we go back, mate?
Oh my God. 2007.
2007. What's that, Michael?
15 years.
15 years.
Holy smokes.
I always look to Michael for maths because I'm not good at it.
Engineer.
I'm very dyslexic.
And so Connor is a local roaster, coffee roaster here in Newcastle in the Hunter. He runs his own business called Drop Bear Coffee. And where do your beans come from, mate?
Beans themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, a few different spots, mostly South America. Oh. Do it. Hi everybody, it's Connor here. How far away do I hold this anyway?
Just keep it relaxed, mate. Yeah. It's hard for you to do that, isn't it?
Edged up on coffee. Yeah, look, Tanzania, Colombia, Brazil, the usual, the main offenders.
Yep, tax-free, of course.
Yeah, obviously, very good. Or until it turns into a cup of coffee.
Yes, exactly.
Pay GST on that bastard.
I know.
Spewing. Yeah, I had the roastery for about 4 or 5 years. It was a late friend's, and unfortunately, when he passed, his family took over it.
Yep.
To their credit, they had a good go, but couldn't quite get it rolling.
Yep.
And then I put my hand up along with another mate,
Yep.
and sure enough, here we are.
So
From a little side hustle into something that's actually growing.
a
and
physical cafe.
Yeah, now a cafe, the first cafe we've opened, which
Yep.
is thanks to you.
That's right, mate.
Just downstairs next door.
That's what it's about, you know?
Yeah.
Looking after your mates.
Share the love.
Very fucking good.
Share
Oof,
love.
sorry. Actually, we can swear on this.
Can
We'll
we?
make it explicit.
Yeah.
That's good, man. And now that obviously you've got your own physical cafe, what's the next step for Drop Bear Coffee, you reckon?
Well, I am going to ditch my day job. 'Cause
Yep.
I did have one at the same time, working about 80 hours a week at the moment, which is, it's a lot. So we'll ditch the day job as of next year and just guns blazing with Drop Bear.
Mhm.
Push the cafe, push some advertising,
Yep.
some more merch.
Yep.
Looks right, doesn't it?
Over there as
Oh,
well.
look at that. Let's put that there.
Sure you don't want to be a coach, though?
Oh. No one can handle this. Oh, by the way, welcome to my strongman comp. My strongman comp.
That's right. 19th of November, we're holding a strongman comp. Do you want me to be doing his first strongman comp?
Oh, my God. I'm
It's
not
gonna
ready.
be-
Looking forward to
Full of
that.
caffeine, though,
Yeah.
so I'm going to kill it.
That's it. All right,
it.
now on your departure, there is a tradition here we have on the show. We
Oh.
only just made it up.
Before you go, Bart, where can we get your beans and stuff online?
Yeah,
What do we
mate.
do?
So thank you very much.
Yeah, you
Uh,
good, mate.
I just want to
Fuck
see
me.
Steve
All right,
Big,
yeah,
mate.
look.
So I do have a website, www.dropbearcoffee.com.au. Check out Instagram. No one uses Facebook anymore, so
Yeah.
don't bother.
It's like MySpace in a couple of years, I reckon.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much those two are the main platforms.
Yep.
Um,
And you
And
ship
obviously-
out Australia-wide?
yeah, Australia-wide.
Yep.
As far
And you
as,
deliver locally as well.
of course.
Yeah, to your front door, actually. But
And
yeah.
I'll put something nice on if you make a request for it.
But yeah, and if you're here at our competitions at Hunter Forward Centre any time of the year, Connor has opened up here for the competitions from weigh-ins all the way through to early afternoon. So
Well, in future until the bitter end.
yeah, exactly right.
So I
So
even has some under-counter specials, a few beers for the boys afterwards. Well, I didn't say that.
That sounds dangerous.
cut this one out.
we don't have a license. All right,
That's a gift. It doesn't
let's get
count.
on to the reason why you're here and sniff that.
Oh, I've been waiting for it.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
I love this shit.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate
Oh,
that. Bad.
See you soon. Enjoy your
Right,
coffee.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Bugger off for you.
Cheers, man.
Oh my god. He's bugging up on me pillows.
Oh.
That's it, eh?
All right. All right, let's get started with the real show. So,
Alrighty.
the whole point, we wanted to create this preview and predictions, I guess, of the 2022 Open Nationals with the Australian Powerlifting Union. It's just to create more of a spotlight and recognition for the lifters involved, but also the coaches as well. Obviously, powerlifting comes from a background of not where money is made necessarily, but lack thereof, I guess, advertisement and marketing. And I think what our role is in this world is just to try and provide it the platform that it deserves, because it's an amazing sport once you're in it. And I think the amount of time that you spend at the gym as a lifter or as a coach with your clients, like, it deserves more than just, I guess, the current recognition that it has. So I think by creating the platform that we want to do today, and I guess for the next 3 episodes, because we're splitting up lightweights, middleweights, heavyweights, is that we just want to try and allow everyone to get the exposure that they deserve for all their hard work. How's that sound, boys?
Sounds good to me, yeah.
Pretty good. All right, so we're going to go through today, as I said, the lightweights. We're going to start with doing the 47s, 52s, 57s, and then we're going to do the 59s, the 66s, and the 74s. I will preface that we have all messaged every single person in, say, like the top 5 to 6 of each weight class respectively, because at the end of the day, we wanted to just acknowledge that some people don't like the fact that their name may be said on a podcast or hearing predictions about how they're going to perform. And we understand that it can create some sort of anxiety around performance if you do hear your name on like a platform like this. So out of respect, we just wanted to try and make sure that was okay. So if we messaged you and you reply and you say fantastic, we'll include you. But if you said no, then obviously we won't include you at all. But the thing is that we have gone out of our way. We have messaged everyone. We did get their, I guess, approval. And safe to say, a lot of people actually replied. Thankfully, I was going to have nothing to talk about.
A lot of people were really keen.
Yeah, so
That's it, for sure.
I think this is where the direction of powerlifting wants to go in regards to publicising it. So I'm pretty happy with the response that we got. But in saying that, if you don't hear your favourite lifter's name being mentioned, or you don't know, why this person wasn't mentioned, it's because we probably didn't get a reply. But we will have, what was the word I used downstairs?
That's a good question.
Like a recognition, what's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea what you're talking
a
about.
special consideration, you know what I mean? Like someone who would be there, but obviously we don't have the information required.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing as well is that we don't know how everyone's training's been going, because some people go ghost and they become sneaky and not post anything. So we can't really see exactly what they are doing in their training. All we have is their results on OpenLifter. So all these results are accessed by everyone and anyone. We're just going a bit deeper and analysing it. So let's start with the ladies. Right, 47s, right, and 52s, and I think, I think it's quite ironic that the biggest bloke in the room is doing the past the females, mate. So why don't you kick us off and let's have a chat about the 47s?
Yeah, so I'll get my little cheat sheet up here. So not a whole lot going on in the 47s. There's, I think there was a total of 4 people in the 47s that have competed this year from Open Powerlifting. I'll mention as well, just adding on to what you said before, that some competitors aren't listed on Open Powerlifting. So if you're not mentioned today and we didn't contact you, that's probably why. So 47s is pretty clear cut of how that's going to go down, I'm pretty sure. At the moment, the number 1 female powerlifter in Australia, Vicky, I'm going to butcher this, but Gudumnuapon, maybe?
I'm not
I don't know. I'm going to call her Vicky K.
That wasn't too bad.
Let's just go with that.
Vicky, let me know how I went. So, she totaled 383.5 at New South Wales States. So that's with a 137 squat, a 90 bench, and a 156 deadlift. So I think she failed a 92.5 bench. Yeah. She definitely didn't get it. I don't know if she failed it or if she's...
It was at City Strength, and the head ref was, I think she's a Cat 1, but bloody hell.
Yeah. Bit rough.
Can give a strict press call.
Yeah,
so
right.
I don't blame you, Vicky, if you did miss that third bench.
Yep. So she's actually exceeded a lot of those lifts in training lately. Yep. So from Instagram, I've seen she's squatted 130 for 2, so that's only 7.5 below her comp best.
Jesus.
Yeah. She's benched the 90 kilos for a double, and deadlifted 160 for a double as well. So that's 4 kilos heavier. Yeah. So she's going to absolutely smash that total at Nationals. Yeah. So she's probably going to be around 400 kilos, I reckon.
That's
at under 47 kilos.
And that would probably get her on the podium right up until perhaps the 57s.
Yeah.
And she's 10 kilos lighter.
Insane.
Yeah. Insane. Where does that sit her in regards to IPF points?
So from New South Wales, she got, I think it was 107 GL points.
Yep.
So she was about 2 points above the next female, which was Shay from the 63s.
Yep.
So it's looking like she's probably the favourite for best lifter of the day at Nationals. Yeah, well. Definitely. Mm-hmm. The next closest 47 is Jackie Coldana.
Yep.
Coldana. But she competed at IPF World, so she's not competing at Nationals this year.
Open IPF Worlds?
Yes. Yeah. So
interesting.
She's not there.
Okay. How'd she got IPF Worlds?
She got 297. So still considerably
strong.
Considerable difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my third was Sharon Laffett from Tasmania. She's Tasmanian champion.
I think I've seen her on Instagram now and then.
Yeah.
I know Coach, I don't know his name, but I saw him at Junior Nationals and he coaches her. But she seems like she's coming up for the competition. Yeah,
so she's up 6 kilos from her last competition when she competed at Tasmania States.
Weight or total?
Total. From the competition before States. Right. So she did 273. So that's with an 83, 54 and 136.
Cool.
Good. So she's doing well. But she has uploaded a video of her doing 112.5 kilo deadlift for 6. Yep. So her deadlift, 6 reps, quite comfortably too.
There you go.
So I think there's a bit more in the tank there.
Awesome. I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is just Vicky and her, how far she can take it.
Literally. 400 kilo total at 47.
Yeah. Do you have any data on IPF Worlds at all with what Turbo Tiff did?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay. Well, she's obviously I think it's evident that Vicky will be looking at Malta next year for the IPF Worlds. Mm-hmm. And how far she can push Turbo Tiff, who knows? Because if she's progressing as fast as she is right now with, the current training, and credit to Tom Duron, her coach, just getting her into this sort of position to expose and put Australia on the map in such, I guess, a small weight class, I think it's incredible.
Yep.
So
she's going to be in a really good position next year.
Yeah. Keep going, Vicky. Like, we back you all the way. I reckon that's phenomenal. So that's really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Any takes on that, Benny, or you reckon?
Very good.
Very good.
Agree with the boys.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Very good.
52s, eh?
52s. A bit more going on in the 52s.
Yep.
So I still think it's only going to be between two people, more or less.
Yep.
So that's Annabelle De Cruz and Xin Liang.
Yep.
So Annabelle totaled 357 at Victoria States.
Yep.
357.5. And Xin totaled 347. So 10 kilos behind.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that she failed all of her third attempts.
Zin.
Yes. So there's a lot more in the tank there.
Yeah. I know she's got a massive pull.
Yes, she did 167.5 at States, but she has done 175 in comp before.
Right. And I think in training she's done up towards 180, I think.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to see there.
Yeah. I think she's part of Matt Crundle's training group.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So I know Matt Crundle has a lot of lighter female lifters, and a lot of them just have massive pulls.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a trend Matt Crundle's doing down there. So I think honestly, like, if Zing can get to a position to secure a third pull for the win, Annabelle could be in trouble.
Yep.
Because Annabelle should be going in there knowing that she needs to get all her squats and benches.
Yeah.
To push Zin as far away as she can from that number one spot.
Yep.
Fantastic. And how's Annabelle's training been going?
Yeah, so she has hit a 127 squat in comp previously, so she only got 125 at States.
Right.
But so she's a little bit more there.
Yep.
She only got 7 from 9 at States as well.
Right.
So again, more there.
Yeah.
But I think she'll probably be in the realm of about 370
Yeah.
at Nationals.
Yeah.
So that's probably about a 132, 72, 165
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
And then I had Zin at about 122, 67, 177.
Okay.
That's my prediction anyway.
What total is that for Zin?
So that's 367 for Zin, 370 for Annabelle. So it's going to be close.
Right. So
Yeah,
it's a day
interesting.
that's not missing by the sounds of it.
Literally.
Yeah, not missing. Try and get the last ball for the win.
Yep, be smart.
Mhm.
Go 9 from 9.
That's it. Very good. Right. Well, good luck to those two. I think Annabelle's coach was
Anthony Krisner,
Oh yeah,
the Australian
I
Yeti.
remember Annabelle because
cool.
I've known Annabelle for years, and she was with Melbourne Strength Coach for a time.
Yep.
And then I think she left, and yeah, Anthony Krasner from Apex Strength. That's awesome. Okay, good. So it'd be good to see Anthony on the day as well. Crunching numbers with Annabelle at the back.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a good matchup to watch.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some interesting game day coaching,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Again, there was another competitor, Pay. She just competed in the IPF Worlds as well, so she's out for Nationals. But she would have been up there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pay's strong. I've also known Pay for a couple of years from PB Physio.
Yep.
She's coached by, I think, Amir Fazeli, or was, and now coached by probably, I think, RTS with Isabel von Weisenberg. I'm not sure. But that's awesome. I think it'll be good for Pay to sit back and watch, because as far as I'm aware, I think she had a pretty rough year in regards to like pregnancy and going to IPF Worlds, and it's just been quite fatiguing lifestyle wise. And I know PB just recently had their birthday as well.
Yep.
So I think it'll be good for Pay to sit back and just watch, and that probably would strike some motivation in her training
Definitely.
coming into 2023.
Yep.
All right. And anyone in third place, mate?
Yeah, so Tao Pham, she's from WA. She's down at about 305 at the last comp.
Yep.
So, if she has a good day, she might get up to 320, 330 maybe. She did 280 in her comp in November last year before States.
Yep.
So in that 6 months or so, she put 25 kilos on that total. So she'll be up there eventually.
That's good.
Yeah, nice. That's good.
Awesome. All right. Is she from the Strength Club? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. No, don't know. I coach at all.
No. Not much on socials.
That's all right. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, not much to say. Do you have anything else to say about the 52s?
No, I think that was pretty well recapped.
Yeah.
Well done, mate. That was good.
Thanks, sir. No, I
Very
think
good.
52s will be good to watch, and it'll be interesting to see how Vicky can push the 47s.
Yep.
Yeah,
Function
definitely.
and go.
Yeah, I think it's hard when like the lighter weight classes aren't that populated.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be standout
people. Yeah.
So I reckon good luck to those people that obviously Michael has mentioned. And I think it'll just be good to see some solid game day coaching between Anthony Krasnar and Matt Grundle, and just seeing how far Tom can push Vicky on the day. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll move on to the men.
You want to do under
like,
59?
yeah. We do
Okay,
the
split it
lightweight
up a
men.
little bit. No worries. Alrighty.
So we're going to be looking at the under 59s, which is pretty stacked actually. And also, is it?
Under 59s, there's a couple in contention. It's a little hard to know based on just there being information on open powerlifting and not so much information on the socials.
Right.
But I did get in contact with this bloke this morning. So this is Jonas Jonas Madura.
Yep.
So he totaled at New South Wales Open States 520 kilos. The breakdown was squat 185, bench 105, deadlift 230. In his training recently, I've just seen his 4 weeks out recap. He's doing 170 triples on squat, 100 triples on bench, and 220 triples on deadlifts, which has given him a training total of 490.
What did you say he hit at States?
He hit 520, but that training total is 4 weeks out, around that like 8-ish on average. RPE, and they're based on triples as well.
Huge.
So I think there's a lot of room for him to improve on that total. I'm excited to see what he does hit for his numbers, because that squat triple is only 15 kilos under his previous squat at New South Wales Opens. His bench triple is only 5 kilos under his bench attempt at New South Wales Opens, and his deadlift is only 10 kilos under as well for triple. So
awesome progress.
He's in for a good day.
Yeah, he's in for a good day. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have any data on the records in the 59s at all?
No, I don't actually. So
take him, mate. Jonah. Sort him out.
That's it. So he's going to do well. Honourable mention to Dion, who just won the junior nationals as well in the under 59s. So he obviously just took that out. He set records in squat, bench, deadlift, and total. He took the gold. He totaled 509.5. So that'll be pretty interesting when he comes up. He's coached by Sultan from Adonis as well. Yeah, so the boys.
I was going to say as well, sorry, I think, the 509, so he would have broken a record at juniors.
Yes.
So therefore, when he goes to Opens, he can't break junior records with a chip. Just a quick tip for everyone.
Okay, interesting.
So
cool.
he can only take 2.5 kilo jumps unless he breaks an open national record.
Yeah.
Dion's also competed here at the Hunter. So
great.
Yeah.
I
met Dion before, shook his hand. Great bloke.
Yep. I had a little chat to him actually, because I was competing in the same flight, because he's a 59, I'm a 66. That was at the States juniors, so that was good.
Good on you, Dion.
Yeah, Dion. Okay, so according to Open Powerlifting, second, disregarding Dion because he's just done juniors, was Danny Vuong. So 452.5 kilo total. Breakdown was squat 172.5, bench 100, deadlift 180. This was at WA Open States.
Yep.
So no Instagram info. So I'm not sure if he's actually going to show up to the competition. I'm not sure what his trainings looked like. So that was a little bit difficult.
Yep.
Then third from Open Powerlifting information is Anthony Fock. So that's 445 kilo total. 167.5 kilo squat, 97.5 kilo bench, and 180 kilo deadlift. Much the same. No Instagram information, so I can't really get too much.
Man.
But that Mr. David Hoff, shout out to him and his client Stephen Vo. So we got to gas him up a bit, because he just competed at Queensland States earlier this year.
And he also has Instagram.
He has Instagram, so we can see what he's doing. David did a good recap on him as well recently. So at States, he totaled a 442.5. The breakdown was a 135 squat, 137.5 bench, and a 170 deadlift.
It's a massive bench.
Huge.
So huge bench for his body weight, which is great to see. His training as of recent, according to David's recap, he's been squatting above 150 now.
Wow. Okay.
He's been benching 140 to 145.
Yep.
And his deadlift is 195 with room for more. So that's putting him at a training total of 490, which coincidentally is the same as Jonas's training total from his 4 weeks out triples that I just mentioned. So there could be a bit of a dark horse there.
Yeah. Jonah v. Stevie. That's insane.
How good.
Hopefully that'll be the go.
Yeah. I think, who's Jonah's coach? Do you know?
I'm actually not too sure.
Okay.
I
know, David very well, too well actually.
Yep.
But I know for a fact that David is a good game day coach. I spent the whole weekend with him down at juniors, and he obviously had his guys, but he was also handling a lot of the other performance athletes when coaches were already doubled up with other athletes on another platform or in the one, for example. But I know David's smart. He's good with numbers, and he's really good at reading RPE based on attempts.
Mhm.
So I think Dave can get the most out of Stevie. I'm unsure how Jonah will attack it with his coach because we just don't know. We don't have that data, do we?
Yeah, of course.
But I do wish both the boys the very best. I think it will come down to who misses and who bites first.
Yep.
But
A lot of strategy there.
what a strategy that can be happening. Exactly right.
Yep, definitely.
Very good. What are your predictions, mate?
My predictions, just based on the info that I've got today, because I've got no social info from those couple that I did mention, I'm going to put Jonas in first.
Yep.
Because I think that's a pretty impressive training total for sub-max triples.
Yep.
And then Stephen in second.
Yep. Good. I think Jonas is one to lose, maybe, perhaps. Is that worth a comment ranking?
I'd agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it.
Wish you all the best, boys. That's very good.
That's it. Good luck.
Alrighty. 66ers.
Alrighty.
Here we go.
Exciting. Here you go.
Conflict of interest here.
Yeah, that's it.
You see what I've done here? I've told him this.
Yeah, that's it. Throw me a bone, eh?
Research.
That's it. That just stopped recording. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it. Right. Fucking are we on again?
We're on.
Yep. Sorry for that technical difficulty, guys. Camera was overheating, which I didn't realise was a thing.
Yeah.
Bloody Sony. But
Yeah.
we were able to change a setting just so it can keep recording and it'd be okay with it overheating. So hopefully we shouldn't have any more cutouts. But
Yep.
all right, let's get into the 66ers, mate.
Alrighty, so getting straight into it, based off open powerlifting, we've got Danny Lee coming in first from his performance at ACT States. So he put up a 620 total. Breakdown was a 212.5 squat, 162.5 bench, and a 245 deadlift.
Okay.
So that's putting him number one. His training, as of recent, I can't see too much from his Instagram.
Yep.
So I don't have context that's exactly up to date right now. But at 8 weeks out, he hit a 220 squat. At the week of junior nationals, he hit a 170 bench pretty comfortably.
Yep.
And mid-July, he hit a 180 bench.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So
That was that massive bench that went viral.
that was huge. Yeah, King of the Lifts shared it and everything. That was good. Not much context to the deadlift. I've got mid-July, he pulled a 222.5 for 8 reps with straps. And that was looking pretty comfortable. So
Jesus.
What's that E1 there, Michael?
Yeah. Big. Real big.
big.
Get your calculator.
That's it. So yeah, he's definitely put on to that 620 total in the
And
time.
that was
So
massive as well.
you know, that was already the biggest 66 total of the year.
Yeah.
You know, at that time. So
Probably all time. Like, can you
yeah,
think of anyone
yeah,
else?
yeah. I
Other
can't
than
really.
maybe Carl DeFalco back in the day in Powerlifting Australia. I think
Yep.
he was doing some pretty crazy shit in 69s.
Mm.
But yeah, good on you, Danny. That sounds like you've had an awesome prep so far.
Yep. So just based off that information, the estimated training total that I took from the bench singles and the squat singles.
Yep.
Because I didn't have much deadlift context, I just took his best from ACT stage, which was 245. That landed him at a 645 estimated training total.
So that's quite conservative as well, because
Yep.
you assume these deadlifts got them back.
Exactly. So so that's where we're sitting for that. Second on open powerlifting was Yuki Kashima.
Yep.
So obviously went to Worlds in South Africa. He was a little bit disappointed with his performance there. He totaled 607.5. His squat was a 217.5. His bench was a 157.5, and his deadlift was 232.5.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was quite under what he did in training as well.
Exactly, yeah. So reflecting his efforts in training, what was going up, what he believed that he could achieve at Worlds,
Yep.
that was a bit below.
Yep.
But you've got all those factors like international travel and things. There was COVID even going around in the 66 crew. I know that Panna came back having COVID
Yeah.
a week after or something like that, which
Yeah.
impacted his performance.
Even just the standard at the world level.
100%. Yeah, there's several factors. So
like Cat 1-2 referees on the platform all the time, and I remember watching him. It was like sparrow fart in the morning.
Yep.
And he was copying some long press calls, and we know Yuki gains most of his ground in the bench.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think for coming into nationals, you can only assume he's going to get better.
Yeah,
definitely.
How's his training been going?
His training's been going pretty well. I've seen him do a 225 double on the squat pretty comfortably as of recent.
225.
225 double. It was very good. He's just been gaining momentum in his block. It's been really, really good to see. Yeah. With his bench, I saw a 160 double recently on his story. I'm fairly sure. It was funny after that because someone mentioned that it was a quick press call, and he quickly put up his press command from Worlds and said it doesn't matter. But the end of August, I saw him hit a 170 single on bench. Yeah. So he's doing pretty well there. He's been PRing on his deadlifts as well. 5 weeks out, he's hit a 252.5 single.
Okay.
So that's going up.
And he pulled 245 last night, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Yeah. He's doing well.
It'll be close, man, between those two.
Yeah, definitely. So funny you say that, because his estimated training total that I've got based on all that data is 247.5, which is 2.5 above Danny.
It's insane.
So it's just going to see who shows up on the day.
Yeah.
How this next 4 weeks goes. Yeah, who's the smartest? What game day coaching happens?
Who's smarter? Me.
That's it. So third on open powerlifting anyways as well. So we've got Andrew Trio. So he replied to me this morning. Sounds like a great bloke.
Boy.
That's it.
This weight class is much better than 59s. Yeah.
yeah. Come on, we don't want to rustle too many feathers, right? So he competed at New South Wales Open States. 601 kilo total. Breakdown was a 218.5 squat. Bench was 142.5, and his deadlift was 240. And he narrowly missed his third attempt deadlift on grip, which I think was a state record attempt at 251.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
Great day that day.
He had a great day. It was really good to see. His training as of recent, so his squat is 230 single, early September. Mm-hmm. His bench, I think he's struggling with an injury or some niggles going on at the moment that is impeding his progress, or at least he's not showing what he's putting up, because on his socials I haven't seen anything. Then his deadlift, I saw him in early September hit a 245. So that's 5 kilos above his previous comp bands.
Right.
So, his estimated training total from all that data is 617.5. So I think that puts him in strong contention for that third place spot behind the other boys.
Yeah. So you pretty much got your first and second, your third right there.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but first and second, obviously, is going to come down to who misses. Honestly, it sounds so tight.
Yeah, it's going to be really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier for Steve in regards to the coach of Denny and Andrew, because he doesn't necessarily have to worry about his own lifters battling each other.
Yep.
Because he's got one battle between Denny and Yuki, and then the other battle between Andrew and whoever's fourth. Is there a fourth person there that you mentioned?
No, not particularly. Fourth position, mate.
Fucking Benny Roberts.
Yeah, that's it.
Watch out, Andrew. You know what I mean?
Watch out. That's it.
No, that's all right. I think we can give Benny a rap, can't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
How's your training going, Benny?
Training's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gained some really good momentum on the squat and the bench in the last block. It's been really good training.
Yeah, really good week last week, didn't you?
Yeah, really good week. 170 double, pretty easy. 127.5 kilo bench, not so easy, but moved well. Technique was there, and we just trusted that, and it went up. Then deadlift slowly been gaining momentum. Had a 170 yesterday, really easy. I don't think I pulled anything above a 6.5 in like 5 weeks. So we're just gonna.
And what, you're getting stronger.
That's it. We're getting stronger, mate. Who would have thought?
You don't need to max it out.
Anyway,
it's pretty funny. Benny came back from Europe after having awesome momentum coming out of junior states, and you went away 4 weeks.
I missed 4 weeks of training.
4 weeks of training, and came back and was just ready to go, fresh as a daisy, but floppy as anything.
Yeah, that was it.
And I think he went to Melbourne for a work trip before we obviously started the internship here, and just overshot everything in the first week.
No, come on, give me some credit.
It went backwards.
Oh, mate, no.
I'm feeling pretty good. Like, should have 4 weeks off.
Yeah, no, that was it. I think my bench press and squat were realistic. They felt good, but
Yeah.
I just overshot on the deadlift because it's the one that I'm most hungry to improve, and we reached too far.
Yeah.
And that was at the Strength Fortress. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, and he's wearing that shirt probably, and they're thinking, fuck.
Jeez, this bloke.
He's got no idea.
That's it. Yeah, this bloke. Yeah.
That's sick. All right, and I think we've got an honourable mention, don't we, for young Daniel Lee.
That's it. Yeah, young man.
Daniel Lee too.
We've got a bit of our own battle here at 100 Performance Centre between the two household 66ers, and Daniel Lee is someone who has come lengths and bounds upon where he first started here, and I think between him and you, like, there's probably not going to be much difference. You know what I mean? I think it'll come down to how much room you can get him put between you and him coming to deadlifts.
I think so. It's going to be me relying on my subtotal and then not missing, and him not missing, and he'll have to put himself in a position to pull for the win, like over me, basically.
Pretty sure he missed 210 at States, but he butchered it.
Okay.
But I that's one thing. When I say butcher, he gets really worked up and he forgets what he's doing and he just goes back to old habits.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he needs more experience. And I think States and the prep in the gym right now in competition with you and the other boys, I think has put him in good stride to perform under pressure and exposure to, a high aroused environment. I think that's really important sometimes, like when you got a training environment like that.
Yep, definitely.
And that's only going to work in his favour to fucking hand it to you.
That's it, mate. Well, we'll see what happens.
As you said, mate, you can't miss. Yeah?
That's it. Because as I'm still a junior, but I missed it because, like you said, I had time off. At junior states, I totaled at 462.5. And then 2 weekends later at Open, Dan totals to 462.5. So, yeah. And
Really
but
good.
I think he beat me or bested me by 300 grams of body weight or something like that. So
He did that on purpose.
yeah, oh definitely. He water cut for that.
Yeah, an extra 4 weeks to train or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's
He knew what
it.
he was doing when he's come into it.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that's awesome. All right, well, yeah, best of luck to you and Dan. I think it'll be good. But back to, the blokes who are going to be at the top of the podium.
Yeah.
I think, I speak to Denny, like, I wouldn't say regularly, but I speak to him quite a fair bit when we're at competitions, and I spent a lot of time with him at juniors. Like, we all went training together at Pro Raw and carried on and whatnot. But I know Denny is quite resilient, and I say that in the truest of words because I know what he's been through and I know what he can do when he puts his heart and soul into it. So I know he will not be turning down any I guess attempts at all. He'll be taking it all and leaving it all on the platform. And I think Yuki, as from what I can see from the outset, if we think about his performance at Worlds, and if we know Yuki from in lead up to that World competition, the way that he presents himself and carries himself, quite obviously like flamboyant and loud, and that's him. You know what I mean? Like that's Yuki, and he wasn't that at Worlds because obviously you're on the world stage. Like you don't want to get done for inappropriate behaviour warnings and whatnot, but not that anything that he does is inappropriate. I think that he could just be a lot more of himself at Nationals, and that's going to work in his favour. And it's going to maybe throw off Denny, throw off Andrew. It's going to make him feel better. I think he has that presence that can be really distractive, and that is working in his favour. And that's when he performs best. If you think about Yuki's best training sessions, it's when he's carrying on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think if he can be himself, and try not to be anyone else, like what he did at Worlds, he's probably going to put himself in the best, I guess, position to perform.
Yep, definitely.
What do
And
you
I agree. And I think that the fact that he doesn't have to travel halfway across the world for this competition is going to be in his corner.
Literally, he rolls out of bed and he's there.
Yeah,
exactly.
He lives around the corner from where the venue is.
Yep.
So yeah, it is going to be a fight. I think, honestly, I'm putting Denny first. I think Denny has a lot to prove, and I know the story behind how he wanted to go to Worlds last year, had the opportunity to go to Worlds last year, but didn't because he knew that he wasn't number one. And why would you go to Worlds if you're not one number one?
That's it. Yeah.
So I think he's hungry for it, and I think Yuki's out there to defend that title. But from what I can see and what I saw at ACT States in person with you, Denny was on another level.
Definitely.
Like his goal was to beat Yuki at ACT States. And he did it by 12.5 kilos. So I think Denny has momentum. I think Denny is strong between the ears. I think it will come down to Yuki and how he can just be himself.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you blokes reckon, all right?
I agree.
Fuck, I've got goosebumps. I'm pumped. Good luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good to watch.
Yep. Good luck to the boys.
Denny Lee, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Good luck to me.
Yeah.
Tell Danny, young Daniel Lee to get fucked. I'm just kidding, Dan.
No, he's not.
All right. Alrighty. 57s and the 74s. So we're going to start with the 74s purely because we're going to talk about 57s quite a fair bit because there's a lot going on.
It's stacked.
It is stacked from head to toe. We're going to talk about the 74s to begin with, and we're going to work from the bottom up. I think that's all right. Oh, actually, we'll change the settings on that one as well. Yeah.
Yep. I'm feeling more comfortable as well as we go on.
Don't you fart, John.
Should have saved me at the start. I'm like,
I noticed that.
fuck.
I kept fucking like playing with my nose and shit.
You had your hand in front of the camera, like you were doing this, covering your face. I was trying to get your attention to be like, "Well, you fucking pull your finger out."
So these fucking 47s.
I was working that camera.
You're looking at your camera.
Yeah.
All right. So working our way from the bottom up on open powerlifting.
Do you want to start again? Like, because we'll cut that part, won't we?
Josh will figure it out.
Josh will figure it out?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, mate.
So I'll start again now. Alrighty, so starting from the bottom up on open powerlifting, I think I've got 3 lifters, fellas.
Yeah.
74s is not that stacked, unfortunately. But the thing is that I think we just deserve to give these lifters some recognition.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, we care about everyone, don't we?
We do.
So, one of my clients actually for nutrition, young Zachary Toravillis, what do we call him? The
sleep paralysis demon.
Demon.
That's it. Yeah.
Demon. He'll be out in full force. He's had a fantastic prep. So his best in competition is a 600 total at New South Wales States. He did a 705 squat. No, 205. Can't read your writing, mate. A 205 squat, a 130 bench, and a 265 deadlift. So that was a really good day for him. I think did he go 8 for 9? I think he missed 1 lift.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
He just finished competing as I arrived at the venue on that day, so I missed.
I can't remember how it went. But that was I think it was a PR total for him on that day. Because the comp before that was the anniversary cup. And I remember his final pull, and we had a bit of hard style.
Bit of hard style.
Yeah. Muzz after it.
Bit of a Muzz, that was good.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Zach, if we don't see a bit of a Muzz after your final pull, I will be pissed.
Yeah.
As for his training, he has done in recent, on August the 13th, I believe, 220 squat, so 15 up on there, a 135 bench, so 5 up, and a 250 dead, so 15 under. But we know Zach gets a lot out of his deadlift in prep. He's like a super heavyweight.
Yeah, peaks really well.
He peaks really well with his deadlift. He will always pull plus 15 on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
So even though his best total in competition is 600, his best training total is 605, and that was mid last month. So you can only assume that the young man's getting better, and I think he will push definitely for that 3rd spot position. What do you blokes reckon?
I agree.
Yep.
Beautiful. Next up, and this guy is hard to get hold of because he's quite quiet on social media. Young Kavwa Shikoni. I've known Kavwa for a long time, probably nearly 6 years by now. We compared together at Oceanas in 2017, and that was back when he was a 66.
Mm-hmm.
And he is just brutally strong. Just in every single lift. Technique is the thing that really holds him back, but in his recent years, he's gotten better, and it's started to show on his total.
Yep.
Can you shut up and stop breathing? Off. Get off. Mike, pick it up, mate. Yeah.
I thought it was Michael panting.
Yeah.
I'm doing it quietly.
Okay.
So, with Kavwa, his best total is 710. And he did 255, 170, 285. Was that at Welts? I think it was at Welts.
I had that was that New Zealand National?
New Zealand Nationals, yeah. So that was only last month.
Yeah.
Right. So he's back to back. So Kavwa is obviously a resident here in Australia, but he is from New Zealand. So he must have flew home just to let him know he's still around. So
How do you think that'll affect his prep for this comp?
Well, Caval's been around for a long time, and I think with athletes that have been around for a while and they've exposed themselves to heavier training consistently, I think you can peak for a comp in a matter of weeks. It just depends on, I guess, the block that you're coming out of and how you're transitioning into it, what your lifestyle looks like, because that's more of an implication than anything. So I think Caval will probably be fine, and you can always expect him to be around that 700 kilo mark no matter what. So he did some pretty hard training. He's done a 260 double at 9 to 10, a 170 double at 10, and a 280 triple at 10. So
those
what
videos,
does that tell you?
Overshooting works.
No.
It tells you the man can grow.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking.
Gumption.
Yeah. It tells you he's got gumption. He gets through tough shit.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Cavoir put up, around that 710 total, but probably a little bit more because that's based off doubles and triples. I know he has issues with squatting to depth for sometimes.
Yeah.
So as long as he can squat to depth and put up a big figure, because his double was 5 kilos above his comp best at New Zealand Nationals.
That's massive.
So I think if he just hits depth and puts up a big squat, then he's going to well and truly be towards that 720, 725 mark, which is huge for a 74 kilo lifter. So yeah, best of luck to you, Cavoir. And in first place,
of course,
he told me to give him a good rap and gas him up, but I don't think he needs it, to be honest. Young Stephen Day. I've known Stephen. Actually, I did my first comp with Stephen in Cairns in 2017.
Yeah, right.
And ironically enough, at the same competition was Sam Butterworth and Kelly Mann. And then we're all together at the end of the day, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty we're just on like a full circle. But I've known Stephen for years. I've seen him grow and achieve everything right from that competition till now. And he's in for probably a really, really good performance. Granted that he comes in healthy. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you're that little and you're lifting that much weight, it's pretty hard to stay healthy all the time. So we know Stephen pushes himself to the absolute limit in everything that he does. So I have no doubt that he's going to put his mind to matter and give a performance that we all think he truly deserves. Because the total that he put up, and I'll read it here, 742.5, the breakdown of 285, 167.5, and 290 ACT states would have given him a second place at IPF Worlds behind Taylor Atwood. And that's well and truly over the total record in Australia. It's well and truly over the squat world record, I think. I'm pretty sure that's over the squat world record in the 74s. And in training this past week, he's done a 295 squat at RP8.
That was fucking wild.
that was insane.
It wasn't an 8. It was everything's an 8, right?
Yeah, everything's an 8, mate. If you don't fail it, it's an 8.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy. But he did 295, which is just ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that's a 2.5 kilo PR.
If you watch the video closely, you can just see buckets of gumption absolutely dripping out of him.
That's good. Yeah, that was at Adonis Campbelltown. Shout out to Alan Pham. But a 295 squat, unbelievable. And then he benches 170 frequently, but we know that he's probably good for 175 on the day. I think the difference between 170 and 180 for Stephen just comes down to how hard his squat is, probably. Because he always benches fresh on Saturday. So you can always assume he's going to be a little bit under, even though, say, for example, he does like a 177 or 180. You know that he's probably good for about 5 to 2.5 less than that on the day after a hard squat. Sure. And we know how hard his squats can be.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
And honestly, like, I know deadlifts haven't been going that great for him at the moment, but he's probably good for 285 to probably 290, 2.5 to 295. Who knows? Like I said, it comes down to his squat. How hard his squat is means how much he's got left in the tank.
Yeah, definitely.
I know, because it was pretty good when we were in Melbourne at Pro Raw. It was like myself, Denny Lee, Sam, Steve, like all top contenders this year for the first place at APU Nationals. And he finished his squat, I think it was 285. And he said, man, I'm always fucked after that. He's like, the rest of the workout, he's just got Parkway Drive in his ears and he's just pure gumption, just getting through the tough shit.
Yeah.
And I just know for a fact that on the day he's going to have to hold his arousal high, and he does do that. But as long as he can maintain that throughout the entire day, just after squats, into bench, into deadlifts, then he should have put up a good performance as he did at ACT States.
Yep.
So yeah, I think he's untouchable. I think he's well and truly probably one of the favourites to win on IPF points.
Yes.
There are a couple of other blokes who may get a little bit close, but we'll see. It depends on if he goes 9 for 9. But granted that he did go 9 for 9 at ACT States, he's got momentum in his favour. So yeah, that's where I stand with the placings. Stephen first, Cav second, Zach third. I think Beth will get the most out of Beth from Output Strength Systems will get the most out of Zach. Cav, I'm not sure who his coach is, but we always know that he will put up something above 700. And Stephen Day will probably come out on top and most likely win best lifter.
Yep.
Any
No,
objections there, boys?
hit the
I'm not
nail
going
on
to
the head.
rebuttal that at
No.
all. Yep.
All right, bugger that off. Let's get into the.
Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Another sip
Aiden's
chart.
got about 5 pages here.
All right. So, all right. We'll start from the back. So, this is probably the most contested weight class of the entire weekend. And there's a reason why we left this for last, because it's probably going to be the best showcase of performance across from 6th place all the way to 1st. I think the biggest thing that we want to be mindful of is that a lot of the lifters in this category either skipped juniors, did juniors, could have done masters, but are all doing this together to be number 1. And I think that is honestly,
That's awesome.
it's insane. So
That's great.
I'm looking forward to this, and I've got one of my lifters in this battle as well, and it's going to be tight. So working our way from the bottom up on open powerlifting, based on the current results, let me take a quick sip of water, is Jordana Herber. Now, Jordana is the former Queensland state record holder in the squat, so she puts up a big squat, and that's as a junior. So at ACT States, she didn't have the best day, missing her, I think, last bench and last deadlift. She went 130, 65, and 130. She, in training, however, in this past, I think, block that she just did,
She'd been blown up.
her squat has been doing zoomies. She did a 142.5 kilo squat. She did a 70 kilo bench and a 150 kilo deadlift. So she's up 12.5 on squat. She's up 5 on bench, and she's up 150 on deadlift. So she has momentum. She's put 20 kilos on her total in training. Okay. Actually 17.5 or 20, I'm not sure. But that's ridiculous.
Massive.
And I think as long as she can capitalize on her peak, and Stephen, her coach, can get the most out of her over the next 3 to 4 weeks, I think she could be within contention of pushing the podium quite hard.
Yep.
Or if any of the girls in the top 3 miss or don't have a good day, she would be right there to bounce on it if she has a really good 9 for 9 outing. So good luck to Jordana. I reckon she'll do a fantastic job. And she's a close friend of mine as well, and I really wish her all the best. Moving on. In 4th place on open powerlifting with approval, we have young Michaela Kelly, first year as an open lifter. She's from Wollongong, and she's coached by Leanne Jackson from Strong 24/7. She's the current 2022 New South Wales Open champion. I'm just going to go off her previous 2 comps, and the comp before was the Hunter Showdown.
Yep.
She went 8 for 9, 125, 65, and 140. And that was a pretty good day for her, I remember. I think she only missed a bench because she went 8 for 9. And then she had another comp at City Strength, but it was not as good as her Showdown comp, but then did Open Women's States. And she went 127.5, 75, 145. So she had a 10 kilo PR in the space of 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
And did 347.5. But since in training, leading up to Open Nationals, she's squatted 130 easily. I saw in her story. She's deadlifted 150, and she hasn't been posting much about her bench, but every now and then on her stories, I see her benching 75 regularly. And that's her comp best. So you could assume that she's got about 2.5 to 5 kilos to gain in her bench to add to a total there.
Yeah.
So Michaela is in for a pretty good day, I think, considering that she's 2.5 above her squat already, and she's 5 above on her deadlift already as well, and that's on top of a 10 kilo total PR from the Showdown 2 states. I think she's well and truly looking around that 365 to maybe 370 mark, which is massive. So good on you, Michaela. Looking forward to seeing how you go. Third place on open powerlifting, we've got Johannes Semi Kratz. This is my client. Semi is a veteran in the sport. However, took a massive break for about 6 years. Her last comp was before States was the Strength Fortress in 2017. She squatted 102.5, bench 57.5, deadlifted 130. She went 8 for 9, missing only her third squat at 107.5. Then she did her qualifier before ACT States, and she squatted 130, bench 70, and deadlifted 160, going 9 for 9. And that was with you.
Yep.
Yeah. So she put 70 kilos on her total in 5 years. And I've known Semi for a long time because she was in the 63s, wasn't happy with her, obviously, body. We spent a lot of time doing bodybuilding, cutting down, going back up again, cutting down. And if you see Semi over the weekend at Open Nationals, you'll see how just like lean she is, because she's put a lot of hard work into her body composition. And it's notably showing because she weighed 55.3 at ACT. So that's really light for a 57 lifter. And this was because we were in limbo whether to do 52s or 57s. But we decided to do 57s purely just because of the fact that she wants to have a baby soon. And I think she just went on a honeymoon as well to Bali. So she didn't want to be, constrained. I have a constraint in regards to diet on a holiday.
that close.
Yeah, like
Definitely.
just go and enjoy yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Gotta live.
Yeah. In her training, this past week, she's done a 135 squat. She's done a 77.5 kilo bench and a 160 deadlift at 8. So she's 5 up on her squat. She's 7.5 up on her bench, and she matched her best pull at an RP 8. So Semi's in for a really good day. She will push the other ladies in the weight class, and I think she definitely should not be slept on. She isn't, I guess, like, she doesn't come across as competitive, but deep down, I know she fucking is. She's a mongrel.
She shows up.
Yeah, she shows up. Like, she'll listen to Strawberry Kisses and that in her ears before she goes out and lifts.
Nothing wrong with that.
But as soon as she gets on the platform, she's an animal. All right, moving on to second on open powerlifting, we've got lifting Therese Durand. She's currently the 2022 junior national champion and best lifter.
So she's backing it up.
She's backing it up.
Just did juniors.
Yeah. So she did juniors over the first weekend of September, and 5 weeks later, she's doing nationals just to go back again, because I think she wasn't very happy with her performance.
Didn't have the best day.
I think she got 1 squat, got 2 benches, I think, or 3 benches. I think she benched 91 and missed her last pull at 170. So she didn't really have the best day and didn't get to present that. And I think she's just come back for a bit of redemption, which I fully back. I think that's awesome. And she had so much more to give. Like, if you look at her training, it was fantastic and led up to that competition.
She's spent 100 in training, hasn't she?
She has.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I think the national record she broke at junior nationals, which was 91. So she will always have that chip advantage. Given that she had a 9 kilo difference between what she did in training and on the platform. But I think it all comes down to, like, that competition being a comp where Denny, her coach, wanted to make sure that she was in the best position to win best lifter. So they were looking at body weight, like cutting a lot of weight, right? They were looking at getting the most out of her bench on the day. So I think now it's not about best lifter, because Vicky's obviously doing that. It's going to be mostly about, like, just getting the most out of Therese and what she can do on the day to get as far
Get that big total.
Yeah,
definitely.
So at the 2021 Collate Nationals, she did 122.5, 87.5, 157.5. She went 9 for 9. I think she won, actually. And she put 30 kilos on her total at 367.5, which is huge. And then at 2022 New South Wales Junior States, so I think this was about 5 months or 4 months later, she did 127.5, 88.5, 167.5. She went 8 for 9, missing only her opening bench. And she had a 16 kilo total PR. So between the Collate Nationals and the New South Wales Juniors, she's put on 46 kilos on the total, which is insane. The thing is as well is that in both those last meets, she's been under 56 kilos. So she was 55.7 in New South Wales Juniors. And I think it is important to say that body weight is something that both Denny and we'll speak about Team in a sec will be probably talking to their athletes about. Because at the end of the day, we know that Therese can break records with her bench and have a chip advantage. We know that Lisa can break records with her deadlift and have a chip advantage.
Yep.
So therefore, we know that it's probably going to come down to who's the lightest. So I think Danny and Tam are probably going to have those discussions with their athletes. You know, how much weight can we strip off our athlete to weigh in, so they can have that body weight advantage over the top of each other.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot going on there. But anyway, Therese has had fantastic training and leading up to junior nationals, which will probably be in effect of a good peak coming into Open Nationals. So she benched 100 kilos, like you said. We've seen her squat 120 quite easily before. And we've also seen her pull quite considerably as well on the platform here at Junior Estates at Hunter Performance Centre. So she should have a good day, and she should push the other girls to their absolute limits, especially on subtotal.
Yep.
Quick drink of water.
Get into it.
Take a breath, mate.
Get punched.
That's it.
All right. And in first place on Open Powerlifting is the 2022 Junior State Champ for New South Wales, Lisa Tran, Swalmop. Okay, people don't know that Lisa Tran is actually Swalmop on Instagram. Like, who's Lisa Tran?
Yeah,
fucking Swalmop. You know. So she has done the last 2 states in the last 2 years, and she's just blown up. In 2021, she did 120, 65, 160. She went 8 for 9, missing on her second bench, and on that time put 37.5 kilos on her total at 345. The following year, excuse me, at 2022 New South Wales Junior States, she did 125, 75, and 183.5, going 9 for 9, not missing a single lift, putting another 33.5 kilos on her total and totaled 383.5. Notably, she was 55.5 kilos body weight, so she was 200 grams lighter than Therese, and that's what got her the win. That final pull we all witnessed together.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was just a lighter body weight was enough to edge Therese off the first place position.
Yep.
So that's a lot to swallow. You know what I mean? Like, you've got 2 girls who went head to head at New South Wales Junior States, and they're going to be facing again together at Open Nationals and probably pushing that first and second position as best as they can. We know that Lisa's coached by Tan. We know that Tan is a great game day coach. He's from Ernest Performance Systems.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we know what he's like. We know how his predictions go. He's probably thinking of our strategy plus another million of what can happen on the
Every
day.
outcome, there's a plan.
Exactly. But as for Lisa, like, she's had a fantastic prep. Obviously, she's had an extended break, didn't do junior nationals because she's got her eyes on opens. She's doubled 170 at 7.5 on her deadlift. She's squatted 118.5 at 6, and she's benched 80 kilos, which she didn't have a video of, but she did say it was at 8 to 8.5 RPE.
Yeah.
So she's stronger. Like, she's gotten stronger.
Indeed. Yep.
Right. So I'm looking forward to seeing Lisa showcase exactly what she's been doing in training, because she's going to need every kilo she can to be out on top.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting as well. Like you just said, she's had all this momentum to gain from junior states.
Yeah.
Whereas
she's effectively had 5 months off.
Exactly.
Not off, on.
Yeah. Very on.
Very on.
Whereas Therese has just competed. Now she's got to back it up.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that'll impact her.
I think in Therese's favour, she has someone like Denny who can channel into her the mindset that he has. And I know they're partners, right?
Yeah.
So they I think together they're a force to be reckoned with. And I know as long as Therese can stay on top of her mental game, she'll probably leave everything that she possibly can do out on that platform.
Yeah.
And that huge deadlift's a massive advantage. Like, being in that position where she knows she's going to deadlift last on the third attempt, so she can load up whatever she needs.
You can load up what you need. And
she can
for the win.
It's just I think Therese has to make the first 8 lifts.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really do.
Yeah. How will that be, bud, if there's a power couple, 2 national champions?
Oh,
that'll be pretty cool.
Hear that, Denny?
Yeah.
That'd be the go.
No pressure.
Indeed.
All right. We have a wild card in the 57s because she hasn't competed this year. But we have a very honourable and notable mention to Miss Elizabeth Craven from House of Reps in Canberra. Liz is a former IPF, 5-time IPF world record holder and champion. She has broken multiple records for many, many years. She's competed at the Arnold over in America. She's a phenomenal athlete. And we've had recent intel that she is going to be competing at the 2022 Open Nationals. She hasn't competed this year or qualified, but she has been exempted because of recent health circumstances, which we'll go into detail about. But at the 2021 Calais Nationals, she competed as an under 52. Okay.
Mhm.
She did 147.5, 81, and 180. She went 9 for 9. That was for a 408.5 kilo total. And that's the most she's totaled since 2019.
Mhm.
So for a while there, she went backwards just during COVID, that sort of awkward period for us all. And then,
Yep.
yeah, totaled 408.5. And she's nearly back at her best. But ironically, like, she's been undergoing a lot of health issues, which I want to highlight. So she recently went under surgery in July, and that was to remove a brain tumor, which caused what they call acoustic necroma or neuroma. I hope I've pronounced that right. But basically, it affects the way that the brain perceives or controls balance, hearing, and vision. So she was having double vision, and she was going partially deaf in one ear, the side that which the tumor was on. And obviously, that's going to affect a lot of her ability to, I guess, gain sensory input with the things around her. And you can imagine squatting. Like you're already seeing four people in front of you.
Yeah, that's it.
To one head ref when you've got a heavy amount of weight on your back.
It's hard enough to catch your balance.
Yeah,
exactly right. So obviously that had been affecting probably the later training, and that's probably why she took a dip in her training in the last 2 years. But additionally to that, she what was this say? Additionally, I can't read my own writing. Oh yeah, she had, where the tumor was sitting, it was compressing up against the facial nerve, and she was getting a numbness on her face. And you can imagine how confronting that would feel, not knowing what the bloody hell's going on. So she's been through a lot, and recently underwent surgery in July, as I mentioned, using what they call a gamma knife. And basically it's like a highly concentrated knife, and it kills the DNA of the tumor and hopefully shrinks the size of it and like the intensity of it. That was the option that she went with, but there was another option where she denied, or the doctors agreed not to do, which was a surgical removal, where they actually cut you open and cut through muscles and whatnot.
So she had like a radiation treatment?
Yeah. Yeah. So the surgical removal guarantees that you become 100% deaf in 1 ear. And you have a big chance of being diagnosed with facial palsy. And then the recovery is 6 months. So you can imagine, Liz Craven in July hearing that she has to, embark on this journey of recovery to remove this tumor. Being offered, on one hand, a surgical removal that could be fatal in regards to her ability to hear, getting facial palsy, and having 6 months recovery, or this new sort of style of treatment where they diagnose it and repair it through this highly concentrated radiated knife. And that knife was the way they went, so she can have the opportunity to not be I guess deaf and have facial palsy, but have the ability to compete at Open Nationals. I quote, and this was on one of her posts, "I will do whatever I can to get to Malta for Worlds next year."
Wow.
So I got goosebumps.
Yeah, literally.
Inspiring stuff.
The thing is that I know Liz, and I know Liz is an absolute animal. In the gym, on the platform, we know that she performs her best when the moments have to matter the most. And I'm fully backing Liz all the way to win, probably, because her training has been immaculate since surgery.
So she's back to 100%.
Well, not 100%, but like bloody hell.
Yeah, close.
The numbers that she's doing is impressive. She scored 147.5 at RP8, I think 6 days ago. Excuse me. 2 days ago, she benched 82.5, and she deadlifted 180 kilos regularly. So she hasn't posted much about deadlifts, but I know she's good for 180 plus deadlifts. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, what a story.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's a big time moment for big time players, and Liz is going to take hold of all that. And she isn't doing 52s like she did to Calais Nationals. Her intention, and this is after having a conversation with her, she wants to do 52s at IPF Worlds because that's where she's going to be her most competitive. But she wants to compete as a 57 and then nominate as a 52 after doing Open Nationals. And if no one from the 52s nominates to go to Worlds, then she can just slide into that position. But say, for example, Annabelle or Zin want to go to IPF Worlds, then she'll have to do 57s. I think that's how it works.
Right. Okay.
But what a story. I can't wait. So I've gone ahead. I've made a little sort of predicted table. I think that we'll start from the bottom. Okay, so I think between the two bottom athletes, Michaela and Jordana, it's going to be very close between 5th and 6th. I think within about 5 kilos, maybe, or even 7.5. I reckon Michaela will squat 135. I reckon Jordana will squat 147.5. I reckon Michaela will bench 80. Jordana will bench 70. Okay. I reckon, and I think they're all PRs for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon Michaela will deadlift anything between 155 and 160. And Jordana will do the same. So that puts Michaela at 370 to 375, and that puts Jordana at 372.5 to 377.5.
Not much in it.
No.
Not much in it. You've got Leanne Jackson, you've got Stephen Day running the cards today, so I think they'll put both their lifters in the best position possible to win. But they're right there next to each other, and I think that's where they'll probably be looking at each other the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
The next step up, it's it's tight.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to look at saying Semi next and Therese. We've got Therese squatting 130, Semi squatting 142.5. Therese benching between 90 and 95, and Semi benching 77.5, which he's already done in training. And then we've got a deadlift between 170 and 175 for both of them. That puts Therese at 390 for a low end and Semi at 390 for a low end. It puts Therese at 400 for a high end and Semi at 395 for a high end.
Oh, wow.
So for Therese to hit 400, she needs to bench 195. She needs to deadlift 175. And for Semi to hit 395, she needs to hit a 175 deadlift. Granted that they go 8 for 8. So that's already bloody close as it is. Next, we've got Lisa. Lisa, I think, based on the data that she's told me, she'll probably squat 130, bench 82.5, and deadlift anything between 185 and 192.5. And she also has chip advantage there as well in that deadlift pool. That will give her a total between 397.5 low end and 405 high end.
Mm-hmm.
Liz Craven, I think, granted that she squatted 147.5 at 8, she's probably good for a 155 squat on the day. I know the medication she's on has been affecting her body weight quite a fair bit. So depending on, I guess, how much weight she has to cut, if she has to cut or not, it may affect her squat, may affect her bench, who knows. But we're just going to take it the example that she'll have it all together because she's a world-class athlete. She'll sort it out.
Yep, definitely.
So I reckon she'll do 155. The squat record's 158. I think that's just a bit too much out of reach, and I don't think she needs the chip advantage because she is going to probably lift the most across every lift except for deadlifts.
Mm-hmm.
Her bench 85, I think, after seeing her 82.5 this week. And I know she's good for a 180 plus pull, and that's like not even pushing it.
Yeah.
So that's going to give her a 420 total. So
wow.
Even if Lisa has her best day from scouting, she still wins by 15 kilos. So I think that's how it's going to play out. We've literally got Liz out on top, followed by Lisa, followed by Therese, followed by Semi. But man, like if anyone misses, like if anyone misses a squat, like
it's gonna change everything.
It changes everything.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And I think it is an advantage that Lisa does have that final pull, but Liz may also have the final pull. You know what I mean? And Liz may also have a deadlift chip as well. Like, just depends on who shows up. But I'm gonna put my money on Liz just coming through because of what she's been through, and I think there's something that just smells different about getting over adversity and wanting it that bad. Like I know Lisa, Therese, Semi, Michaela, Jordana, they all want it bad. But to be, if you think about big moments and you think about that last soldier standing in the battlefield at war, and Liz is there swinging her fucking sword, fending for her life. Like I think this is Liz's final stand.
Yep.
And she's going to make her mark, and she's going to be at her best pre-2019. So, what do you boys reckon?
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
I think it's going to be Liz on top, and everyone else don't miss.
Yeah, the next 3 could be any order, but I still think Liz will be at the top.
Yep. All right. Well, that will do. I've got a sore throat from talking for so long.
There we go.
We'll get used to that. But
it knows. casting couch. Let's go.
All right, well that wraps up the first episode of The Hunt, and I hope you guys enjoyed the preview. We went into full depth there, didn't we? Absolutely. Yeah. I think this is what powerlifting needs here in Australia. It's just a little bit more publicity around the lifters and the coaches, and honestly, the amount of effort that everyone puts into these competitions, because it deserves nothing but just a bit of a hype. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as we have. Like, I love talking about powerlifting. I don't know how people get bored from it. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for being here, boys.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Next episode will be middleweights. We'll be going over the 63s, 69s, 83s, and 93s. So there's a lot going on between those 4 weight classes. So stay tuned. We're looking at trying to release these 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out. So once that's done, we'll try and create some sort of, I guess, podcast idea after that. We've got to sit down and think of some episodes, don't we? Yep. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments, but also don't forget to subscribe, like our channel and videos. It helps a lot. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
That's it. Let us know what you think about predictions and everything. And if you agree, if you disagree.
Yeah. And if you want to see any guests on the show, let us know. I know we've got young David Hoffman coming up on Friday, so we're probably going to get him in here for a chat. That's good. Yeah. I'm talking to him. Yeah.
That'll be really good.
Clear schedules.
More judo, I reckon.
More judo? Do you want more judo?
Yeah, let us know if you want the judo in here, sniff pneumonia every episode.
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. Alright, see you guys.
See you later.
Peace.